right, well, welcome into the webinar room at MetaStock, everybody. This is Dave Osmond, and I know that the name at the top actually says Kelly Clement, but it's actually me. For some reason, it's putting up Kelly's name, and that's no problem. We're just glad to have you here. We have a great presentation today from our good friend Fausto. He's the president and founder of Cyber Trading University, and he's really one of those great people to have in the room because he's actually a 9-time world champion trader, you know, in trading competitions. So this is the real deal. We're going to give it to you here directly from Fausto, talking about level 2 data. Incidentally, some exciting news here at MetaStock is that we just added some additional level 2 data today. So if you're a MetaStock user and you have a data feed, you have access now to the London Metal Exchange, the Metals Exchange for Level 2, and the Toronto Exchange for Level 2 data. So we are adding more and more of that Level 2 data as we go on. This has become more and more popular with our users. Before we start, I need to go ahead and read down our standard disclaimer. So if you will patiently bear with me for a moment while I read this, as I'm required to do. This demonstration is designed to instruct you on using MetaStock and accompanying software plugins. Is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. MetaStock shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of their software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. Okay, I appreciate that. Let's turn the time now over to Fausto. And if you have any questions today, you can type those in here in the chat box, and I'm sure he'll be able to get to those as he goes along.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming. My name is Fausto Pugliese. I'd like to thank MetaStock for having me here. And my topic that I'm going to be talking about is how to use high-frequency trades level in today's playing field. Now, the thing is this, maybe a lot of you have heard lately about all the scrutiny that's been happening on CNBC, the big article that was in 60 Minutes, and how people are making it look like, you know, why is this such a bad thing? Actually, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing for all of us. You know, everybody always likes to show the bad, but they never talk about the good. And that's this is something that it's going to make you look at trading the stock market totally different more than anything. Now, does anyone here know what high-frequency trades are? Anybody know exactly what it is or heard about it, or just give me a chat back and let me know. Okay, Kevin knows a couple of good things about it. Computer generated, okay, from Tom. All right. Well, the thing is this. I'm going to teach you and show you a lot of techniques and strategies of today's, and I know we only have an hour, so I'll do the best that I can. But basically what we're going to be learning is that when it comes to trading the market, sometimes you feel confused. You don't know what you're doing. You're looking at the market. You think some people are watching you. You think when you post orders out there, people see them. The bottom line is this. Unless you really know how the market really works, which most people really don't, you're going to always be confused. Now, for some of you to know a little history about who I am and why you should be listening and why MetaStock has me here today to explain to you the power of trading in the market, because you got the right execution system, which is the MetaStock platform. The question is, are you using it to trade it to make you successful? Well, before I was a very successful trader, I always tell everyone I was a successful loser. Most traders and speakers were. And the reason why we're instructors is because we don't want you to make the same mistakes that we've made. And that's why we got into the education business, because it's not fun to lose in trading. And the reason for this happening is I started trading back in the early 1995s. And, you know, I don't know, it sounds like a long time ago. It really actually is. Almost 20 years now. I can't believe it. But when I started, I was 22 years old, and I was one of these kids out there trying to trade and, you know, trading my parents' money, losing miserably. And fortunately, living in New York, and almost depleting my whole account, I said, there's got to be an easier way. And I'll never forget one of the greatest lines my father always taught me. And he said, son, if you want to be successful in this life, you have to surround yourself with successful people. So if you want to learn to be a successful trader, there's no better place to learn than go to people who do it every day and are very successful at it. Because if you think you're going to learn on your own, guess what? You got something coming to you. Because nobody in this world, it's going to be very, very difficult to be a doctor, a lawyer, a pizza man, a deli man, a construction worker, whatever it is, trying to be self-taught. It's going to be too expensive and too long. So go out there and learn it. And living here in New York, I did exactly what my dad told me and went right down. And I was fortunate to a lot of people in the industry. And let me tell you, what I've learned on the first day on the job should never, ever made my first trade. And that is what I'm hopefully going to accomplish today. A lot of you are going to go out there and start realizing that what drives this market to go up and down these stocks is due to supply and demand. That's what it is. That's all it is. If you know how to read supply and demand, then you'll know if you're on the right side or wrong side. Now, over the years, ladies and gentlemen, I became a 12-time champion. I beat every single school that I competed against. Right at the World Traders Money, the World Money Show and Traders Expo, I know MetaStock was there every single time because we exhibit at the same events. And the thing is this, I came to the conclusion that if I really felt that I could teach people, well, first they have to have the confidence in me. So I went out there and I competed with every school and enjoyed it. Went all over the world. I went to Paris. I went to China, Canada, all over the U.S. Now, the thing is this. How did I become a successful trader? Well, not because I was just great at what I do. It's because I was trained by the best, and I was trained the most simplest, easiest way how to trade. So how did I learn that? Well, basically the same thing I'm going to teach you right now within a nutshell, within an hour. If you're looking to be successful or you're looking to tweak and fine-tune your trading and doing this as a career, because I believe trading is one of the best jobs in the world, well, then you need a mentor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you some of the techniques and strategies how to go about doing that. Well, let me tell you the first big mistake people make. The first biggest mistake people make is they go out there and they open up a brokerage account. Okay, because and they all say, well, let me try to trade first. If I like it, then I'll go out there and learn. Well, the thing is this. Every brokerage firm you think is giving you a great deal, but most of you are trading and opening up an account with brokerage firms are with accounts that are the wrong brokerage firm for you. Every single one of you are a case-by-case basis. So you can't look at it that what makes one brokerage firm better than the other? First, you have to learn and see, okay, what kind of a trader do you want to be? Do you want to trade options? Do you want to trade stocks? Do you want to trade futures, Forex? I mean, you got the right execution system. I mean, you got the right software that could help you with all those things. But don't rush opening up a brokerage account. So the thing is this, that's mistake number one. Now, mistake number two is not knowing how to trade. So let's go into the HFTs. Is the HFTs, the debate is getting hotter and hotter if is it rigged, okay? Well, the thing is this, before you worry about 70% of the volume, first let's have something straight and realize what brokerage firm we're trading with. Do you guys realize when you trade with certain brokerage firms that they are not focused on making $7 a ticket from you? They're not. They can't be in business. Could you be in business? Let's say you had 1 million accounts and, you're making $7 a ticket. Do you think you can afford to be on the Super Bowl? Do you think you can afford to run a skyscraper in New York City? And in Chicago, and in Toronto, and in Atlanta, and in California, have 2,000 offices all over the country? Of course not. The way they make their money is something called payment for order flow. Now, let me just get my little crayon here, little pointer. There we go. Okay. So that is payment for order flow. Now, if they can't take your order and sell it, then it goes to the market makers. From there, it goes to a routing system, and then there's something called a dark pool. Anyone heard of dark pools before? Thank you very much, Carlos. Some of you heard of a dark pool? Okay. A dark pool is basically a market maker selling or doing trades within their own inventory. That's all it is. Okay. They just, I don't know why they use such an ugly word. It's like, you know, like Darth Vader. I don't mean, it's like a dark pool. So anyway, that's where they realistically get their orders from. Now, if they don't have stock and inventory, then it goes to the trading desk. From the trading desk, they have a direct access system. They're going to try to buy it on the bid, sell it to you on the offer, charge you a commission, and your order gets executed. Now, this is a pretty long process, okay? But it's actually, with today's technology, to get pretty quickly. But you have to understand something. There's a lot of automation that comes into play before your order gets executed. The brokerage firm is going to try to make as much money as they can on your order. Now, I like to compare online brokers as in like public transportation, okay? There's driving your own car and there's taking the local bus. Now, we know taking the bus is a lot cheaper. I don't know what it costs in your neighborhood, but I mean, I haven't taken the bus, since fifth grade. But I don't know, I think it's like $2.50. It's a lot cheaper than buying your own car and paying insurance and gas and, you know, getting a license. But we all know we can't run a family or go day by day by depending on the local bus. Try to explain that to a pregnant woman, okay, that's going to have a baby. Sorry, honey, I didn't buy the car today because I'm being cheap. So we got to wait for the bus, and it's not going to be here. Were you having contractions? It was 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, we got to wait till 8 o'clock in the morning till it comes. You know that's not going to go well. So the thing is this: when it comes to trading, if you know what I'm talking about, and you get those pending orders and delayed orders and cancel orders, well, maybe it's time, you know, to take matters in your own hands, okay? And that's the thing that you have to look at. And how do you do that? With something called public direct access execution. With today's markets, you could actually go out there and become a market maker. You could place bids and offers. You could have a seat right on the New York Stock Exchange, on the NASDAQ market, competing against Goldman, Merrill, Shearson. Once again, you got the right platform at MetaStock. Why not use it towards your advantage? Use it towards direct access. That's where a lot of people make most of their mistakes. Okay, so if you like driving your own car, well, you're gonna love direct access. Now, please understand, I'm not a brokerage firm, okay? I'm not a direct access firm. I'm a school. Here at Cyber Trading University, we have several instructors. We have a huge staff of education advisors, operation, everything. Our goal of what we do here at Cyber Trading University is we work for you, not for the brokerage firm. All I'm doing is trying to teach you guys the reality and the truth behind trading. So what does the direct access systems have? Well, let's talk about some of the features that the MetaStock platform has. Does anyone here know what level 2 is? Anybody know what level 2? Everyone should have it on their MetaStock platform. Dorsum, you do? Okay. JC, you know? Okay, good. Chris, what about you? Dick? Frank? Franklin? Fred? Bill? Barry? All you guys, you know what it is? Oh, we got a few people that are saying no. All right. Well, that's a start. All right. So let me kind of educate some of the people who don't know, because when I get to level 3, you're going to see what an advantage there is going to be. Level 2 is basically going to show you all the market makers that are buying it and all the market makers that are selling the stock. Now, right now, we're looking at a stock, SQNM. So this is the brokerage firm, their 4-letter abbreviation. This is the actual price that they're looking to buy for. And this is the amount of shares they're looking to buy. Everything there is multiplied by 100. These are the people that are looking to sell it, the price they're looking to sell it for, and the amount of shares they're looking to sell. So it's like a negotiated market. Now you're seeing all the buyers and sellers, what they want to buy and sell the stock for. Now, what's happening is level 2 is being replaced with, level 2 is being replaced. They're getting rid of it, and there's going to be using total view, which is I call level 3. Fred says use it all the time. Well, Fred, I got news for you. You're not going to use it all the time anymore because there's something better that is going to give you more data, more information. You can be able to make better decisions and get to see 20 times more data. Now, total view is going to show you all the high frequency trades. Okay. Now we like to call them iceberg orders. Have any of you guys ever seen big block orders? How about this? I got a question for all of you. How do stocks go up and go down in the market? Can everybody tell me? How does the stocks go up and down? What drives the markets up and down? You should all be able to answer this question. It's a very simple question. Supply and demand. Okay? Does everybody agree with that? S&D. Can everybody just write S&D? Just want to make sure everybody's here and alive. Nobody's going to pick on you. Supply and demand, right? All right, good. Don't be shy, everybody. No one's going to pick on you. If you don't talk, you're not going to learn. Well, the thing is this. You will always see buyers and you always see sellers. But who could influence the movement of the stock are bigger buyers and bigger sellers, which is what we call iceberg orders. Now, iceberg orders are the high-frequency trades. Those are the big block orders. So let me just change the slide here. Now, if you look at this example that we have right here, can you guys tell me from looking at this level 3 right here, these are the buyers, these are the sellers. Do you guys notice any big block orders anywhere on each side? Where do you guys see the biggest order out there? And how many shares is it? How big of a shares do you see? Okay, JC says 75,000. Very good. Okay, so you see that big buyer of 75,000, right? Now, would you call that a supply or a demand? What would that be called? A demand, right? Everybody agree? Okay. Well, now let's look at where most people start out in trading in the market, which is reading the chart. So here is your resistance. Here is your support. Right now, looking at what happened to previous history, where's the stock right now? At resistance. Now, more people that read charts will agree that this is a selling point or a time to go short. But here at Cyber Trading University and here on Wall Street and the way market makers trade is, listen, supports and resistance levels get broken all the time. So the thing is this. To break support resistance levels, you need buyers and sellers. And when you look over here, I don't think that stock is hitting a resistance. I think somebody stepped in with a big block order to buy it, which means the stock's going higher. Here's another example. Find the big block orders. Here's the buyers. Here's the sellers. Okay? Could anybody tell me, do you see any big block orders anywhere? Where do you guys see a big block order? That's right. You got the 45,000 share seller at $6.75. So right now we're trading right here. So if this stock was hitting a support level and tends to go up, if you look at 675, that's where that seller is right there, 675 would explain that resistance level there and that resistance level there. You see, ladies and gentlemen, what are we doing? Having a game plan. What do you think Wall Street's doing? Having a game plan. What do you think most people that trade the market doing? They don't have a game plan. JC says how. What do you mean by how? How and what? The 75,000 hasn't been executed. That's right. It hasn't been executed because the price hasn't got to him yet. But what makes supports and resistance levels, JC? Buyers and sellers. Okay? So basically, he has a limit order out there to sell stock at 675. Haven't you ever put a limit order out there to sell stock? We've all put limit orders, right? Do you ever put a stop order loss in there? Well, you're looking at one right now. Now, I know the next question is going to come up sooner or later, so let me just bring it up. That's right, JC. Even though sometimes you don't see a solid resistance, but you know what? There's a new one that's always being formed all the time. Okay? So let's go to the next question. No problem. I always get people ask me, I heard that you can't believe those orders because they're fake orders. Well, let me give you some facts, okay? Nobody could put a fake order out there. The system won't even let you. You know, you can't just put orders out there, fake orders. Would you allow people to go into your house and put fake orders out there? You can't. There's nothing fake about those orders. Those are real orders. Now, somebody could change their mind, but there's nothing fake about that order. And if you don't believe me, go execute the guy and then come back to me and ask me. It's funny because I got people that bring that up all the time. And if anybody, God honest truth, if anybody tells you that those are not real orders, do yourself a favor. I tell people run far, far away because the person who's talking has absolutely no clue what he's talking about. Funny story is I did a speaking not too long ago. I was on a panel, and there was this analyst who was talking, and I had this conversation about this, and he's like, yeah, but Fausto, those are real ain't orders. You know that. And I was like, oh, my God, here we go. Guys, now he's challenging me. He says, oh, really? You don't think they're real? Okay, let's go out there. You got money in your account? He says, why don't you execute the guy and let's see how fake he really is. Because if he's fake, I'll make you a bet. If you don't get executed, I'll pay you $1,000. If you get executed, no, I'm sorry. I said, you got $5 in your pocket? And he goes, yeah. Okay, so listen, I bet you $5 towards my $1,000 that if you put an order and if that guy doesn't execute you, I'll give you $1,000. But if you get executed, you know, I'll get you $5. And the guy goes, well, why would you do such a sucker bet like that? Because it's not a fake order. It's a real order. And if you don't believe me, why don't you try executing it? And then the funny part of the whole story is he didn't want to do it. But if he did do it, you know, not only do I win $5, but now he's stuck with 45,000 shares, if you know what I mean. Okay? So that's the funny part. Now, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, regarding about the support and resistance levels, you could see big block orders, iceberg orders are what make supports and resistance levels. Now, when I teach my students, when we go out there and we trade in the market, I'll give you an example, all right? Did anybody do any trades today? Anybody trade the market today? Some of you did? Okay, good. All right, did anybody see a stock symbol called ACHN? Anybody see ACHN? ACHN. Well, actually, JC, here at Cybertrade University, we run a professional trading room, and we were actually trading that stock yesterday morning. And if you don't believe me, I'll give you the Twitter feed. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to invite all of you to come watch me trade live, and I'll even show you the Twitters. You can meet the students and everything. But the moral of the story is this, okay? And I'm going to be talking about this. I run a professional trading floor. I don't know if you guys want to come and join me tomorrow morning, but I'll tell you at the end of this presentation how to join me. But in that specific stock, the ACHN, and for some of you that can't see it, the stock is up about 100% in 2 days. Okay, it was up. It closed up 87% today only, and it started yesterday at $2.75. It's at $8 right now. Okay, how many of you guys would have loved to be in that position, right? Well, you know what? Here at Cyber Trading University, I know this might sound crazy, but we trade stocks like this every day. All right. Now, the moral of the story is this. There was a seller of 375,000 shares, okay? And when we're looking at the stock, everyone's showing like hundreds and thousands, but there was a 375,000 share order out there, okay? And tomorrow I took a screenshot of that order out there on my level 2, on my total view. If you saw a 375,000 share order, what do you think is going to happen to the price of the stock, ladies and gentlemen? Is it going to go up or go down? Now, he was on the sell side. What do you guys think what do you think is going to happen to the price of the stock? 375,000 shares. Well, I could tell you this. If I saw an order out there for a seller, I don't want to own my stock, right? Okay. It's probably going to tank him. All right. Well, that guy was at a price of $7.75. Okay. The stock right now is trading at $8 a share in the aftermarkets. So, moral of the story is this. The guy got executed. Okay. The guy was advertising an order that big, one of the biggest I've seen all month, and he got executed. So if you saw somebody go out there and buying 375,000 shares, do you think that's a positive or a negative for the stock to go up? Well, I can tell you this. I'm not selling my shares. For someone to go out there, and that's why the stock right now is trading higher, and that's why a lot of our traders are in my trading room are holding the position overnight because we saw that order get executed. Okay, so if you guys, like I said, tomorrow morning you're going to be introduced to a bunch of traders that I've trained at Cyber Trading University that see me trade, how we trade, and how to do it. So hopefully all you guys are going to get the opportunity to be there. What was that symbol again? The symbol was ACHN. Okay, put it in the chat room right there. ACHN. Okay? Now, the thing is this. When it comes to trading, ladies and gentlemen, you just got to know exactly where the buyers are, where the sellers are, who's buying it, who's selling it, because all of us, ladies and gentlemen, if you really think about it, we're just the ants on the floor. We're just trying to make a day's pay. We're looking to get the crumbs. There are people moving blocks, 20,000, 50,000, 375,000 share orders. You think they care about guys like you and I trying to move a couple of hundred shares? Okay? So the thing is this. If you can't beat them, follow them. And these are the things that I was trained by my mentors when I started. So if you believe that stocks get driven by supply and demand, well, then you need to learn how to read high-frequency trades. Now, I just want all of you to know, this is not the Fausto Pugliese method or the Cyber Trading University Nachi, or the Fausto Bollinger Band. This is how Wall Street trades. And my mentors always taught me, and I didn't believe one of them. I believed one, but I was like a doctor. I got a second opinion. I got a third opinion. I got a fifth opinion. And they all said the same thing. Fausto, follow the money. And that's what I teach my students. Follow the money and just focus on your day's pay. That's all you need to do. because most traders don't have a game plan. We just think we just trade stocks because we like companies. We trade stocks because we think we got a great software. You know, just because you bought a great platform like MetaStock is not going to make you a great trader. You can go out there and buy the best car in the world to race. And you know what? The guy that's the best driver in the worst car will still beat you. Because he knows how to drive. You know, so the thing is this. You got to have a game plan, ladies and gentlemen, and you got to get educated. And that's why MetaStock is out there and doing these presentations and getting you guys to learn how to trade. Because if you know how to trade, you'll be a client of theirs for life. And that's what they want. And that's what every brokerage firm wants. And that's why everybody wants you to get educated. But the last thing they want you to do is go out there, be part of the 90% failure rate of people out there. They try it, they blow up their accounts in 2 weeks, and then they get stuck going back to their day job. Tom says, how did you see that there was enough demand to take those shares? Excellent question. Time and sales. Tom, do you have that up and running? Do you use it? Because if you don't, I'll show you tomorrow how we use it. Okay. Now, going out there and trading, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it's all about following orders. How does that show the demand? Well, has it show a demand? Is that because somebody bought it? Someone advertised it, and someone bought it from him. Because he was on the offer, there was a demand. If he was a buyer on the bid, that's a supply. Okay? Now let's move on past because we're running out of time here, and I know I started late, so I want to really kind of catch up where we are because I know not everyone's going to be able to stick around later than expected. But let's get right into the second part. Now, everything that I talked about, like I told you, you're all invited to come watch me tomorrow, and I'll show you in real time. I don't know if have any of you ever been in the driver's seat, well, actually in the passenger seat of a professional trader in the real markets to see what it's really like. Well, you're all going to be invited to see that at the end of this presentation. I'll tell you how to register for that in the next few moments. All right. Now, Nita, that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Right now, the market's closed, so it's not important to talk about. Let's get to the second part, which is now I want you guys to realize that trading is a part-time job. Now, you have to understand there is a very certain time when to trade and when not to trade. And the most volatile times of the markets are within the first hour and the last hour of the close. Because when the market opens up, a lot of orders are getting filled, a lot of pre-market trading. You know, like today, we were done, my traders were done within the first 15 minutes of the open. And, you know, talking about this stock that I just mentioned, the ACHN, if you look at an intraday chart, that thing moved the last hour of the close. I mean, the last hour, it went from 680 all the way to 780 in an hour. Do the math. What is 680 minus, 780 minus 680? Can anybody do the math? What is 780 minus 680? Guys should have a calculator. 680 minus 780. It's $1. Okay? Do you know what $1? How much money did you need to invest to buy 1,000 shares of a $6.80 stock? 6,800, right? Do you know what $1 it is? You know what $1 is on 1,000 shares? It's $1,000. Do you know what $1,000 times 5 days a week times 52 weeks a year? It's almost $250,000. Who here doesn't want that job? Well, that's what we do here at Cyber Trading University. This is what day traders do all day. But there's only a very small window of opportunity to make money. And that is in the early mornings and late afternoons. We call these tides. Okay, I don't know if anybody here goes fishing or surfing or goes to the beach with their kids, but there's a time where the waves come. There's a time when the fish bite. They're called tides, okay? And tides are predicated on timing during the day. And you need to know when that timing during the day, because that's the time when you want to be out there, if that's what you're looking to do. Or, you know, and when it comes to trading, you have to know when those times are, because that's where most money is being made. So that's why I always kind of mention to everyone is trading is the best job in the world. You are your own boss. You could come and go whenever you want. You could do it anywhere in the world. There's only one other better job than being a trader, and that's being a keeper of an island, which I know I think everybody wants that job. I tried to get that job, but I got 3 wonderful young little boys I got to keep an eye on and a gorgeous wife. So they didn't decide to move, so I ended up taking trading, right? Well, think about it. Who here wants to, spend more time with their family, more times with their friends, go out there and have more time for yourself to do those things, to exercise, play golf, do fishing? Trading is that kind of a job. And you know what? Let me get back to about myself, okay? I always get people that ask me, Fausto, if you're such a great trader, why do you teach? Well, remember, when I was 22 years old, I was semi-retired at the age of 24. And I was doing all these things, but it really wasn't that healthy for a 24-year-old to be semi-retired. And I was playing golf, I was fishing, and I was hanging out with some old guys, and like, Fausto, what do you do that you drive a Porsche all day? What do you do to own a very expensive house? I mean, to buy, I just never seen that. I said, I'm a trader. And they're like, well, how does a trader, always off all the time? I says, well, I really don't work for anybody. I work for myself, but I only trade the first hour of the open. I've had a good day today, and, I enjoy the rest of the day because there's really no money to be made in the middle of the day. So people kept asking me, could you teach me? Could you show me? And, and as I got into this business, I kept on thinking, the last thing I want anybody here to do is lose money. Because there was so much scrutiny of people saying, oh, you're going to trade your own money, you're going to lose all your money, just give it to a mutual fund. And that's what these companies want you to think. And it's true, you are going to lose your money if no one ever taught you how to do it. I mean, think about it. Would anybody here want anyone to do brain surgery on their loved ones and then went to med school? Would you give your money to some financial analyst and never went to school to learn anything about finance? Well, what do you think you're doing? The difference between you and that financial analyst or that stockbroker, nobody's going to care about your money better than yourself. But you got to make an investment, and 90% of your time is going to be spent on education. But once you learn, you're going to have all that free time on your hands, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we're here for. You need to learn before you can earn. So let's talk about a couple of things that we've learned so far. So what did we learn? We learned that opening up a brokerage account is one of the biggest mistakes because everybody wants to try it first and see if they like it. We've learned that how online brokers make money on your order. We learned that there's something called direct access. You could do your own trades, meaning like driving your own car. We've learned what level 2 is. We've learned what high-frequency trades are. We've learned what iceberg orders are. We've learned that that stocks get driven by supply and demand. We've learned there are companies like this stock, ACHN, that some of you probably never heard of and probably don't even care what the company does. But when you hear dollar signs of a stock up 87% on the day, and that's not from pre-market, ladies and gentlemen. That's over the course of one day from 8 o'clock this morning all the way to the close of 4 o'clock. It just went like a straight arrow. No, well, not a straight arrow, a 45-degree angle, actually. Who doesn't want to get into that business? We all do. Because a lot of you guys out here, I know you're semi-retired. Maybe you're too qualified to go back to work. Maybe, maybe you're unemployed, engineer, maybe you came out of the military, you want to find a career in trading, but who needs to come down here on Wall Street? Just stay home and do it from your house. You got the technology, you got the platform, but what you don't have is the education to someone to mentor you. Now, understand something, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going through and I just went over, listen, don't think in an hour you're going to learn how to trade, okay? My goal today is just kind of, and that's what MetaStock brought me here today to speak about, is that, as great of a platform that you have, you still need a coach to coach you through the way and the style that's going to work good for you, and it's going to help you. And one thing I'm just going to be honest about myself, I'm very, very straightforward. I do not take losses very lightly. I'm not in the business to lose. I'm in the business to win. And I teach my students the same thing. And if you want to learn a little bit more, for some of you that can't wait till tomorrow morning, listen, you can come in tonight, watch some YouTube videos to get ready for tomorrow morning. Log into my Twitter page at Cyber Trading University, Cyber Trading U on Twitter, and you can also find us on Cyber Trading U or Cyber Trading University on YouTube. Look at some previous stocks that we trade. Look at the stocks that we tweeted, and it's not just ACHN. We traded. The list goes on. There was RCRP. There was TRCH. There was ZNGA today that made a big move. There was END today that made a big move. There's a lot of stocks to trade, but you'll see how I scan for them because you got a great scanning tool on the MetaStock platform, but you need to know how to use it right. Now, you can also see that we tweet, we text messaging all our trades. So for some of you that can't be by a computer all day, don't worry about it. We have that all taken care of. You can sit at the luxury of your own home and or from your cell phone, and we'll keep you up to date what's going on in the market. Now, if anybody here wants to learn a little bit more about dark pools, feel free to send me an email. Let me just give you my email, FaustoP@CTUcorp.com. Feel free to email me. And I'll send you a nice little article that was written up on dark pools. I know people get so nervous what it is, but I'll send that to you. JC has a question. Do you focus on any particular type of stock or price range stock? Yes, JC. First of all, the less money the stock is, the less riskier, the more control you have, okay? I focus on most active stocks, okay, that are by percent. Because, listen, JC, think about it. Do you really care what you trade? Or you just want to make money? That's the way that's mistake number one. A lot of people go out there and, I can't tell you how much it irks me when I hear people keep bringing up Apple and they keep bringing up Tesla and they keep bringing up, Facebook. I'm like, once I hear people saying those things, I know right away they just don't know how to trade. Okay? Because those stocks don't move all day. But when I bring up a stock like ACHN today, that was up 85%, almost 90%, and I ask them, "Oh, why didn't you find that stock?" They're like, "Oh, I don't trade stocks under $5." I'm like, "But what's the big deal? If you bought it this morning at 5 and you sold it at 8, what do you care what happens tomorrow? Moved a hell of a lot better than Tesla did today, the way I look at it." And JC, you hit the nail right in the head. That's exactly the way you have to think. Good job. So why do 80% of the people fail? Well, like I said, no proper education. They don't have the right tools. They don't have the right mentor. You can't read out of books. Books don't talk back to you, but you need someone to coach you through it. Now, I just want to give you guys a little advice that one thing I'm going to guarantee to all of you, the stock market's not going out of business. When you and I die, it'll still be there, okay? But there is always time to learn. So you have to learn first before you can earn, and that's what separates the winners and losers when it comes to trading in the market. So let's move on and learn and see how I can kind of teach you guys if you want to move forward with this. Once again, I know some of you guys logged in a little bit late. Just a quick reminder, this is why I was a 12-time champion, and this is why I specifically wanted to compete against every school in the industry, and I beat every single school in the industry. And you can go to moneyshow.com, tradersexpo.com. MetaStock was there also, several of the meets because they were exhibiting there. And Equities Magazine wrote us #1 school 6 years in a row because every instructor at Cybertrain University, we only hire market makers. That's it. Those are the ones that we kind of trade. So if you want to start learning how to make $200, $500 a day, just kind of keeping it simple, this is what you need to do. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be doing Thursday I'm doing a workshop. It's a 2-hour workshop. It's called Entries and Exit Points. A lot of you here always have problems knowing getting in and out of orders. I'm doing a 2-hour live presentation that's going to go in detail. It's 80% off. I'm doing an exclusive event. And on top of it, you are going to get a 1 week in my live professional trading room, which starts tomorrow morning. You're going to be in there for a whole week. It runs from 8:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you'll get to meet all the students at Cybertrain University, all the traders at Cybertrain University. And if you want to register for either one of those, that is the paid version. Now, if you want to just come for free, we also have on 6/11 tomorrow morning at 9:30, you can come for an hour, and you could just watch the live trading for an hour. So if you don't want to join me for a week and the live training and pay the $25, that's fine. I understand. Maybe you're not convinced, but if you want to watch me trade live in the market, which I don't know if a lot of you ever seen anybody trade live in the market, you could register there also. And let me just give you those 2 links right there. That is for the promo for the $25 for the live trading. And you're going to learn pre-market trading and all that stuff. And if you want to just come for the free webinar, that starts at 9:30. You could just click on this link right here. Okay? And they all could be found right on the homepage of our website. All right? Now, does anyone have any questions in the meantime? Any questions I could answer? So far, I know looks like we just caught up where we left off. We got our hour in there, thank God. Sorry for the audio issue this earlier, but it wasn't your fault. It was my fault. These computers always have issues. Thank God I have a backup. All good. Thank you very much. JC, you're more than welcome. And like I said, I look forward to hopefully teaching you and showing you a lot of these examples and live trades and pre-market trading, starting tomorrow morning. You can also register. Just go right to www.ctu.co, right on the homepage. Thank you very much, Keith, for coming. No problem. Thank you. All right. So if nobody has any, we got a question here. We go. Peter has a question. What about price, trade price, volume, profit? Level 2 day. You know what, Peter? We're going to talk about that for a whole week. Come down, join me for a week in the live trading room. There's only so much I can cover in an hour, and especially I can't really show you anything because the market's closed. So you want to sit in the passenger seat and sit side by side by the students of Cybertrain University, hundreds of traders that I've trained. Remember, I've been doing it for 20 years. You'll meet traders, making thousands a day. Come down and visit them. Learned a lot, Kent. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I registered, Tom says, I registered but did not get an email. Tom, you should be getting an email any minute now. Sometimes emails comes a little bit slower depending on your email provider. But if you have any issues, Tom, just call first thing tomorrow morning in the office. We're there at 8 a.m. in the morning. We're going to actually go over options and Forex at 8:30. We do a live broadcast, and then we do a live broadcast at 9 a.m., 30 minutes before the open. I come in. We have other instructors come in earlier, then I come in after, and then we all just trade going into the whole day. Do you record these series? Yes, we do, Carlos. So whatever you miss, it's being recorded. When you log into Cyber Trading University, you'll have your own library of all the things that you were eligible for when you signed up. So you'll be able to access all those workshops and all those recordings and those Twitter feeds and everything. Lucio, thank you very much for sharing that. And I know exactly where you're coming from, and that's why I like to compete against every one of them. Susan, yes, you do get access to the 1 week. If you registered for Greg's options course, yes, you still get the 1 week of the cyber group. It's included. The silver course you're talking about, right, Susan? Yes. And call the office in the morning. You should already have access to that. Brian has a question. One more time, please. You made 2 offers, one that's free and one is for what? Yes, there's 2 offers. One offer is you can come watch me trade live at 9:35 tomorrow morning. Okay, that's on Wednesday. It's tomorrow morning. Or you could join me for $25. I'm doing a live workshop, a 2-hour workshop with me specific, and you're getting 1 week in my live trading floor. It's an online live trading room. You get to see the platform, audio, everything. You get to see some of these stocks that we traded, like the one we just traded earlier, up 80%. You get the recordings, you get a bunch of stuff. It's a great way to kind of give you a sense of, because you know what? The thing is this. I know a lot of you guys are trying to learn how to trade. You know what? It's a very inexpensive cost to go out there. What's the worst thing could happen? You learn something. Even if you're there for 1 day, it's the price of a cup of coffee here in New York. And I'll make, you know what? And I'll make everybody a guarantee. I'll make everybody a guarantee for everyone. If I cannot show you a stock up a minimum 30% in 1 day, call me up. I'll give you money back. That is a guarantee I'm going to give everyone. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, you can't go wrong. People can't make 10% a year. Imagine seeing it 10% in 1 day, 30% of stock in 1 day. So that is my guarantee from me to you if you try it out for 1 week. All right, everybody. All right, so with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And like I said, I look forward to seeing every single one of you tomorrow. Yes, Kent, you will be able to see live trades tomorrow. And not only that, you'll be able to chat and ask questions, everything. Yes. Brian says, how much capital would you need to get started? Brian, the stock I just told you about, okay, the one I told you, and we were trading this stock yesterday. The stock was $2.75, ACHN. You bought 1,000 shares of the stock. What is that, $2,000? You don't need a lot of money. That's a misconception people make. Brian. Can this work with the SPY? Yes, but I'm really a big fan of trading those. You deal with the best traders on Wall Street. Sometimes it's not really the volatility as much as you want, Kevin, in those stocks. You know, so there's a lot less riskier stocks you could do. Listen, like I said to everyone, you're in a business to make money. Less risk, more reward. Well, Brian, that's a good question. I specifically trade stocks. We do have an options class, which Susan mentioned earlier. You can join that one too. It's on that same page. But the thing is this. You have to learn how to trade stocks before you trade options. It's the movement of the stock that makes the option move. So if you're looking at the option, you're going to be late. So, and not only that, you don't always have to trade the option. You could try, you know, people trade options for the wrong reasons, you know, and that's something that we teach at Cyber Trading University. Okay. Sandra says, after trading, after taking a course, can one have a method of finding the stock to trade? Absolutely. That's our goal. See, Sanders, let me explain something to you. When I teach my students, I don't teach them for me to be your mentor every day. My goal I'm like your parent. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to drive, and then you need to drive it on your own. So I'm going to be there to help you in the beginning. I'm going to teach you how to play the game. And, we don't tie people in subscriptions. We're not going to hit you up after this week with an automatic bill pay. We don't play that game. If you want to learn, and you're happy with our service, I'm going to train you. But the thing is this, you have to make sure that you feel comfortable that the style that I'm going to train you, if this is what you want to do, because this is not for everybody, okay? But I promise you, I will give you the professionalism, the courtesy, and the comfort that will make you realize that this is what you want to do for a career. Because you got the right platform with the MetaStock, now you just need the right mentor to train you how to execute off it. Yes, Kent, actually there is a course after that, okay? And you can find more about it by looking at our Cybertrain University website. But like I mentioned earlier, that's the least of your problems right now. Don't worry about that. And that's why we like to go out there and tell people, sample us for a very inexpensive price, see if this is what you like. Instead of going out there like some other companies will just start coming out and make you spend thousands, because I've trained people that didn't know what they were getting themselves involved in, and some of them had spent $10,000, $25,000 in training. And next thing you know, they found out they're like, well, if I, now that I'm in it, it's not really what I wanted. So what we try to do here at Cybertrain University, we said, you know what, why don't you sample us out for a week, see if you like our style. If you like it, then then you can go in one of our programs and learn from there. But before we even go there, we want to start you small and see how to play the game, if this is what's for you or not. No problem, Ken. Well, I look forward to teaching you, Ken. And by the way, Ken, just to remember, the room opens up at 8:30. Okay, we have live broadcast at 8:30. You can get in the room at 8 a.m. We do Forex and options at 8:30, and then we do the day trading, stock day trading at 9. So just make sure you're there earlier. And also, when you do register, make sure you talk to an education advisor tomorrow so he could advise you what you're getting for the week, and if you have any questions about trading, so they can help you out. All our instructors are all market makers too. Okay. All right, everyone. Listen, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Amy, for raising your hand. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing everyone. I'd like to thank MetaStock for having me here. I know it's been a long time I was on MetaStock, but it's always a pleasure talking on their behalf. They got a great platform. They got a great staff there, very educated. One of the best I've seen out of all the systems. I mean, they've been around forever. So, that's one thing that always impressed me with any company in this industry. If they're around for a long time, obviously that tells you a lot about them, that they got something good there. So thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning, if not in the paid one, in the free one. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Fausto. Terrific to have you in the webinar room. We really enjoyed it. I can tell from many of the comments here that everybody else has really enjoyed this as well. We're excited to have you here, and we look forward to having you back again. Definitely take up Fausto on his offer there to come join him and watch him. I've seen it, and it's pretty awesome. You need to see it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you at our next webinar tomorrow in the afternoon. We'll be hosting Wendy Kirkland in our room, so come check it out tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see you then. Bye now.